What is going on YouTube? It's your boy Willie Westside here, bringing you back with another video today. Now today what I want to go ahead and do is do a more relaxed video and take a look at what I think is going to be coming down the pipeline in both Japanese and global Dokkan battle. Now, what you're looking at right now are the new V-Jump links. These are the things we know for a fact are coming to Dokkan Battle next. So right now we know that we are getting a new Piccolo that goes into Kamikolo, and then we also know that we are getting an LR First Form Cell as the final Prime Battle LR. Now, you might be wondering what this means, or what this means for global, or what the point of making this video is, and a lot of it is speculation, but I'm going to have a lot kind of backing up my argument. So what I truly believe is we're going to be having a Cell Games themed 300 million download celebration coming at the end of August. So without further ado, let me go ahead and hop in and show you the previous million download celebrations, beginning all the way back with JP's 150 million download celebration. Now, these were back when, we had a lot more sparse, a lot less hype events back in the day. Back in the day, this was a lot of fun. These were, huge events. We got LR Broly coming in for the first time. We got a Tech SSR exclusive gacha with Tien and Cell. This was back before we had Battlefield as a constant part of the game on either version. This is also back before we had guaranteed SSRs. So I believe the Tech Gacha was actually like one of the few banners with guaranteed SSRs from back in the day. So it was a huge moment. We also got Goku Jr. It was really cool. We got the baseball Yamcha. So this was a big event back in the day. It was considered a really big event. LR Broly, which came to global first, actually did come to Japanese Dokkan Battle, so it was a huge moment for that. Basically, a lot of stuff was going on. Very cool, but comparatively, not a lot was going on. Now, this is a 170 million download celebration for global. One I'm pretty sure most of you could be much more acquainted with. And there wasn't a lot going on, I'll be honest. It was mostly a filler celebration before the anniversary. As you can see, it ended on the 6th, so it was really just kind of tiding everybody over till the anniversary, so not a lot happened. We got some special missions, which had a few Dragon Stones, a couple. This might have been the beginning of Boss Rush, so that was cool, but like I said, as you can see, 626 was really just gearing us up for the anniversary. We had all Dokkan events open every day. That was big back in the day. Stamina Half for Super Strike events was actually big back then, 2 years ago, because, you still needed Super Strikes for farming a lot of units, like, the Prime Battle units. I think the only ones out at that point were the LR Goku and LR Frieza. Maybe we had LR Trunks by then, but I don't believe so. I think that was much later. So we also had some Baba Shop stuff, renewals, not a ton of a lot of goodies. 30-minute item updates. I think that's now standard, but that was all we had. Doubled Quest EXP, as you can tell now. We've got quadrupled, so that's clearly not as important. This event, which sucked, this was before the revamp. This was the original event, and it was terrible. We also got the Big Bucks Hercule Challenge, which is just kind of a laughable event. No one runs it anymore, and it's just not great. And as you can see, these are about 14-15 day campaigns, so not really anything to worry about there. But the big one, the reason why we speculate about million download events, was the 200 million global and JP download event. This was joint on both versions, and we had the emergence of Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Omega Shenron, one of the biggest things that's ever happened. So we had these crazy login bonuses. I believe this was when we had the... Oh, no, it's down here. I'll get to that in a sec. So, a good login bonus. The 200 million Dragonstone Duel Challenge. I'll get to that in a sec and show kind of what I'm talking about there. We also had the Who Will Be Mr. Right. So, this is back when we had the farmable TUR Tech Bulma. There was actually competition between JP and Global over who could farm the most. And I think the loser got Yamcha and the winner got Vegeta. Obviously, JP got... Vegeta in the end. There's a lot of questions about viability, but I think that was actually a fair campaign. Then we had the 20 Dragonstones a day event. That was huge. What there was there was a limit. After they gave out 200 million Dragon Stones, they would stop, but you could farm 20 Dragon Stones a day, and it actually lasted something like 10 days. So everyone got like 200 stones, possibly more. It's pretty huge. I remember being at work, and I thought it was time gated. So like as soon as there were 200 million stones like done, they just cut it off. But no, it was based on days, so everybody can round up 20 stones, and at the end of the day, if there were some left over, everyone would have another chance to grind 20, and there wouldn't be like, you know, that gate of like immediately 20 million. So there could have been, you know, 201 million, you know, whatever. We had a Dragonstone sale that wasn't bad. Then we had the Dokkan Festival I think this was the ticket banner, because it featured Physical Vegito Blue and AGL Rose, and there was, you know, a difference between the two versions because JP had units, you know, for longer than Global did, whatever. But it was a really, really good ticket banner. And then we had the dual Dokkan Festival between Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Omega Shenron. One of the biggest events that ever happened to the game. Still two incredible units, as you guys know. Just an amazing, amazing time. There was some controversy because their leader skills weren't actually released on Global with the units themselves. We actually waited. We had, you know, we had the Legendary Goku campaign on the Global version. They had something else on JP. We had the Kai summons, looking for Mr. Right, the thing earlier. Dokkan event, so very big different from, you know, 170. And then, you know, Quest Triple. Very big difference. 30% off on the Baba Shop. That was big. So a lot of stuff like that. And that was considered one of the biggest events. And the tickets also for these banners were huge. So basically every 50 stones you'd spent up until that point, you got tickets for, and you could summon on this banner right here, the one I was talking about right there. Most people already know this, but it was a huge, huge thing back in the day. And then we didn't hear anything about it for a year. And keep in mind, this started up this was updated on August 10th, but I think the first of it began the 27th of July. So that was, you know, right, and I mean immediately smack dab after the Global 2-year anniversary. So very big deal that it was so close, because a lot of people didn't have stones. Then we look at the 250 million download celebration. So this is pretty, this one is considered the, in my opinion at least, the best download celebration we've had so far. They only get better, which is amazing. Definitely one of the most hype moments, I think, like being in the community. I think these units actually had more hype behind them than the LR Super Saiyan 4s, in my opinion. But it kicked off with the video available at the very end of August. So that was, excuse me, that was, about when it kicked off, and I think about when we can expect if we're going to get a 300 million downloads, which I really suspect, and I'll get to that here in a second. We also had this Namek Piccolo and Nail event return that came during the 3-year anniversary. A good login bonus, a lot of special missions. We got a ton. We didn't get 20 stones a day, but we got somewhere like 10. It was really good. It was a lot more sustainable. We got these daily power-up missions that were helpful to get, you know, a lot of training items and sale stones. We had the World Battle Special missions. These were also missions where you get stones. You get quite a few a day, so a lot of stones per day. We also had the competition between Global and JP for the losing Frieza and the winning Goku. Global ended up getting Goku, JP ended up getting Frieza, and I think it was like consuming stamina, that kind of stuff. And then we got more of these celebration tickets. This news is a lot more helpful than the other one. But these celebration tickets were given for every 50 stones you used. You could use them on this banner. It was incredible back in the day, having Ultra Instinct Goku, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, Omega Shenron, Ultimate Gohan, a lot of great category units. For Global, JP had a couple more like Turles and things like that, but definitely an amazing banner. We also had these super discounts and the Purple Stone, which was huge back in the day. I didn't end up getting one. I couldn't justify spending the money for, you know, my budget at the time, but it was super amazing if you had it, because these units had just come out. I mean, on Global especially, so they were definitely in their prime. The Godstone 4, which is super helpful, precursor to the EZAs we got. The Grand Kai support pack was really cool. Then this was updated a couple times. This is, you know, after we got, you know, first place in the store. But then we got the dual Dokkan Fest between Vegeta and Goku. And this is where I think some of the biggest hype of these events came, because I think these two units, despite being mostly middling units by today's standards, the Freeze is definitely better, but comparatively, these are some of the most hype units because they had multiple transformations, and that was big back in the day. I really think that's going to be a hallmark of the next one. Is these two units right here are some of the biggest. We had the 2 Dokkan events, the Treasure Hunt, which is super cool, up to 70 stones, so I think everyone got them. The Easy A for Piccolo, that was that new? I thought that had already happened, but I guess not. I guess it came with the the event. Then we got Dokkan events available daily. This Return to the Story. Each one of these exclusive summons, we rarely get those. So that was a big deal. Hidden Potential, Stamina Timer, quadrupled rank EXP. As you can see, it only gets higher. And then Baba Shop Trade, 30% off. So not bad at all. We ended up actually getting an extra LR at the end, LR Goku and Frieza as part of the celebration. But like I said, as you can see, these events are some of the most hype. I remember going crazy on these banners. They were amazing banners by every standard. They were just amazing. And so I think, if you look at the tradition, this one, the 170 is hard because they didn't really have any banners along with it. It was really just a filler celebration. But they really highlighted, Zamasu and Rose versus Vegito Blue and Trunks. So definitely, as you can see, everything here is definitely geared towards that. Then you look here, and the units that came out were Omega Shenron and Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. So definitely a competitive pair here. And then we have Goku and Frieza. So what I think is very likely is time is kind of gearing up for the 300 million download celebration. Both of them came after the global anniversary celebration. This one came about a month after. The last one picked up right as soon as the anniversary ended. So definitely I think this is coming down the pipeline. It's very, very likely. So what I think is going to be coming next is definitely going to be a Cell game themed anniversary for a couple reasons. So if we bring back to the next thing coming to Dokkan on JP, of course, we do have this Piccolo from the Cell games, and we have an LR First Form Cell. Now, these units have not really been represented in the game so far. I mean, you could argue that Piccolo has, because they keep giving Piccolo the same name for every unit, so it's possible that this Piccolo has been represented. We don't know. I do love his SSR art, how it comes off the screen. Looks amazing, but beside the point. What I think is very likely is this is fleshing out the only part of Dokkan that hasn't been represented. So if you want to take a look at the Gohan and Cell cards we have so far, we have only one really viable Super Saiyan 2 Gohan in the game. It's the LR, and I don't think they're going to try and replace him because he is just incredible. We only have one somewhat good support unit, and then this Gohan is clearly outdated. So from this legendary clash, we have almost no representation. The original LR unit, of course, or summonable LR unit, is in there, but he's so difficult to get that most people don't have him. And if you look at Cell, Perfect Cell, we have really good representation of. We have the EZA, Int, and Tech Cells. We of course have SDR Cell, who I think is going to be getting an EZA soon. And then for Cell Perfect Form, we have very few options for. Now, in case you're curious, Cell Perfect Form is back when he still had Android 18 absorbed before he blew himself up, and after he blew himself up and the form became permanent as a permanent fixture, that's when he became truly Perfect Cell. So what I think is going to happen is we're going to get a celebration beginning with the Cell games. Now, as you remember, in the Cell games, they were announced by Cell saying there was a week in advance where everyone could prepare, but taking over the news for the entire world. Now, for a dual celebration between both Global and JP, there's no better way to announce it than having, a week-long campaign like we've been experiencing in both versions so far. There's a week leading up to it, leading up to both banners, and the beginning of it. We had a week leading up to the anniversary. So definitely something big going on. Then we're probably going to get a we're probably going to the celebration beginning with Gohan and Cell. I think we're probably going to have a Super Saiyan Gohan unit and a Cell Perfect Form unit as the banner card leaders. This would make a lot of sense because if you look, not great options. The only thing we've really got is the TUR of the physical, of the LR. That's a really viable Cell Perfect Form. And then for Super Saiyan Gohan, at least from that era, we don't have really anything at all. Maybe you could consider the SSR from the LR, but I mean, who really does at the end of the day? So not a lot going on there. I really think those two cards can use it, and they could also very well fit the current meta and design of units. So if you look, at things like your Tech Trunkses, your AGL Merge Zamasu, or your tech Super Saiyan Broly. You know, these transformation and then active skill units, these can work very, very well. So obviously, you know, Super Saiyan Gohan could transform into Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Cell Perfect Form could transform into Perfect Cell, very obviously. Then Super Saiyan 2 Gohan could have as his active skill the Father-Son Kamehameha, and Cell could have the Solar Kamehameha as their active skill. So I think a lot of things makes sense here. I think it's very, very likely. I think there's a lot of precedent behind it. You know, we have almost every other arc fleshed out. We have a great Super Saiyan 3 Goku and a Kid Buu. We have a great, now we have a great Super Saiyan Goku and a great First Form Frieza. Now these are from different arcs, but also, as you know, from the release on JP of the Super Saiyan Goku and the two different banner, or every banner unit Final Form Friezas. We have a great LR full power Frieza. You know, in Super, we have Tournament Power represented. We have Goku Black represented. We have Resurrection F fairly well represented. We've got some good Battle of Gods units, but you know, that could probably use a touch up next. But all in all, I think this is going to be most likely the next dual celebration, because this is what people have been asking for. This fills a lot of holes in terms of representation, and this has the most potential. So if you do agree with me, please let me down below. If you think there's something else that's possible, please let me down below. I really think this is the most logical and viable option, but I could always be wrong. I am only human after all. So if you do have any thoughts, please let me know down in the comments down below, and like we always say here on the channel, I hope to see you around sometime. Thank you all so much for watching today. If you want to see more of my content, check out the box on the right of the screen, and if you look down the box on the left, you'll see a preview of the next video.